All right, we got the red light. We got two red lights. We got the red button and we got the red light.
I'm here for it.
We're live. Guy, what up, my guy?
What's going on, man?
We're here. We talked about it for a minute.
Yeah, we done had like an hour conversation already before we even turned on the camera. So
I think I typically do a podcast before every podcast with everybody.
I love that. The pregame podcast.
The pregame podcast, bro. It's good to like chop it up, get into a good zone,
good
comfortable.
energy,
Yeah.
sure.
No, I'm happy to have you, bro.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, dude. Thank you for coming out. You know, from one artist to another. You know, I love watching what you're doing. It's like I almost like vicariously live through who I see now doing it because I remember doing it.
Yeah,
for
you
so
were doing
long.
it before all of us too. Like,
I was early in the game.
yeah, I mean, you just had a solid understanding of like, I mean, of course, the terrain was different because of the social media isn't like
different.
It was prevalent, but it wasn't as prevalent as it is like right now.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like you had an understanding of just like getting your face in rooms.
Work ethic, bro.
Before I even like
Just go.
entertained the idea of making music, you know?
I was early. I was 2010.
Yeah.
So like it was
Shit.
2010. So it was like early. And around the time social media came out, for me it was like, wait, I can post somewhere and people are going to see me 3 times a day?
Yeah.
Like I like that. I didn't even know what the hell it was. I was like, let's just run it up.
I like that.
I like that. But yeah, a lot of things changed. But no, man, it's been super cool watching you come up. Like I remember you had a song. Oh man, I hope I don't butcher this. You had a song called, this is 2018 right now?
Yeah. That was like the second original song I ever made. Cause like, you know, like the year before I was kind of just like, you know, my friends were rapping. So I was just like freestyling and shit with them and rapping over like beats that were already other people's shit. But like, I wasn't really like making music. And then like around that time where I had made that song, I was, living in New Orleans, going to college, and I met this guy named Sean who was trying to basically like what I was trying to do with music, he was trying to do with production. He was like a guitar player. He loved like he really wanted to make beats and be a producer. So we kind of just like locked in, you know, like just trying to be like, how the fuck do we do this?
Yeah.
And the chords of that song, like I had found those chords in like a sample, like SoundCloud era. And I was just like, yo, this would be hard if like we flip this. And then it just kind of took life from there.
It's the best though. Do you sometimes go into a space where like you remember those days and how much less thought there was into things? Like, yes, you were figuring it all out, but it was like a free feeling because you didn't know anything. Do you ever get into that space?
Yeah, I think I always thought too much about it, but I think the main thing that I realized was like, there was more of a space of like, I know what the fuck I'm talking about. And I still have that. Like I still feel that way.
This is back then you're saying?
Yeah,
like,
back then it was kind of like, I just knew like, even if I made something that I didn't like, I knew what I was going for or like what I wanted. I knew like, yo, I know like what they're on is not what I'm on. And that was kind of more of a space. And I think like that's always stuck with me. Like, I think my palette has expanded since then. But like now I still feel that, but back then it was just kind of like this, I don't care what anybody thinks type of thing.
That's that's kind of where I'm coming from. Like I've thought about this a lot. I mean, even lately, you know, like the free feeling of when you don't know so much, you're not so deep into the game, you don't know business the way you know, and how there's like this excitement of the whole entire come up, you know, and the learning and who you're around and all this stuff, like that feeling. I try to remind myself as often as I can to never lose that feeling, even with the knowledge, now with the wisdom, now with the experience, now with all that. Like, don't lose that.
Yeah. All my music, everything regarding music, I operate off feeling. Like I've never lost that. Like I won't make something or try to make a move of something that feels disingenuine, you know? So like, that's why I think a lot of people come up to me and like say like they love what I'm doing or they like it works. They see what I'm trying to, is because I'm operating off of like what's instinctual for me or what's feeling based for me that I'm drawn to. And I may like, I think there's sometimes like a line between like the taste or does like what it is you like and how to actually get yourself there. And I think that that's like something artists are figuring out in all levels of evolution for themselves.
Totally.
But at that time, man, I was just like, I think back then, I think what's the big change is like, before you make something that you see resonates with people, like you don't, you're just going off of yourself.
You don't know.
But once you play something for like an A&R and a label, or like at a show, or like your friends are really vibing with something, it does, I think, naturally just make you be like, oh shit, like your appetite grows. Like I want more of those.
More, yeah, totally. So what started, so I have a bunch of questions, right? So like you mentioned you had it for Sean, his name?
Yeah.
So you had Sean, was there a desire to do music prior to that? Like what sparked your interest in becoming an artist?
Yeah, I mean, my mom was big on me trying to get into music for like since I was a kid, because like she would tell me that I was really musical as a child. Like when I was a kid, she said, like an infant, she said that I would respond like a certain song would come on, I'd start crying like as a baby. Like
that's deep.
Yeah, I mean, I just think like everything's been feeling based for me. And but growing up, you fall into the social cycle of things, and everybody played sports. So I was like, I don't want to do music. I want to play sports. I want to play sports. But like I was always like kind of like writing for self-expression. Like I wouldn't call it rap at that time, or
poetry,
like songs. It was kind of poetry or just stream of consciousness. And like I had always wanted to do it, but I moved around a lot. Like I moved to Westwood. That was my 4th high school. I'd been to 3 other high schools prior to that. Yeah, we were, we had some financial stuff going on, and just like, my mom and I were moving around a bunch trying to find a stationary spot. And I think like at that time that I had wanted to make music because some of my friends were doing it, and I don't know if I had the confidence necessarily to pursue it, but I also didn't have an understanding of like the resources. I didn't own a laptop. I didn't know where a studio was. I didn't know how it worked. And I didn't have, because I was the new kid in so many scenarios, I didn't really have a circle to
you
learn
ask questions.
That.
Yeah. What around what time is, like, what year is this?
I'd probably say like my junior year of high school, senior year, like the desire to do it really, it would be something that was like silent to me in my room at night.
Start
alone.
Thinking about it.
Yeah, I'm staring at the ceiling, just thinking about it, or like walking to the bus and writing stuff in my phone. Wow. But nothing really materialized. And I think when I went to college, it started to take a little bit more shape. Not even my freshman year, but I just had a lot of life going on at the time. A lot of like inner family stuff going on, financial stuff going on. I was just trying to figure out my place at the time, or like what I was supposed to do, because I didn't have the traditional, you go to this, you go to college, you da-da-da-da. I was kind of figuring it out for myself.
You had a little bit of freedom to do so. Was that like an upbringing thing? Like why not structure? Why not?
Well, my mom didn't go to college. My father didn't go to college, not by choice, just by situations. And I think like their understanding, like my mom wasn't really keen on the application process. My mom was the most elite saleswoman in the world. So like she could call up the school and talk to them about financial aid. But when it came to like taking a kid to college and viewing like, a school, like I didn't go through any of that process. I just kind of went to where my sister went, because I was like, I don't know how this works.
Yeah, it was comfortable, kind of familiar to some degree.
Yeah, I just wanted to get it over with.
Yeah. Did you know then that school wasn't like, was it you didn't want to go to school, or was it like you learned that it's just not for me? I know you went through the motions, but you know.
I learned that it wasn't for me. I was actually a really good student. I had like a 3.9, 4.0 GPA in high school, and but I never cared about it. Like, I was just doing what I thought I was supposed to be doing.
Yeah. But I think a lot of kids.
Yeah, but when I went to college, man, once I started leaning into the music, all ears for class went out the window. I was showing up to class with my headphones on, just like just listening to things and studying. And luckily I was just a person. I've always been a transparent person. So I never was the kid to not study and then show up to the teacher and beg them. I'd just keep it 100 with the teacher from the beginning. Like, look, like I'm here because I'm supposed to be here. And I'm not, this isn't really my area of interest, but
that's I didn't do that. I had a similar experience with college where music came about, fell in love with it. Freshman year, by the end of freshman year, I had a folder of lyrics. Like I was up constantly writing, loved entertaining. I was a cipher guy. So like, I just always wanted to write bars. I definitely pulled the wool over every teacher's eyes and would make up every story in the book and tell them like, no, this happened or that happened, or that's why I haven't been here. So I always tried manipulating everything.
I had too many friends doing that, to the point that I think the teachers respected me more.
They do.
for just being.
You learn that now that you're older.
Yeah, I just always have operated like that. Like I'm not a deceitful kind of guy.
That's good, man.
I'm just like, man, this is what it is.
Yeah,
like,
that's good. That's good.
You know, and whether it works or not, like I'll take the L if it doesn't work. But and what's crazy is because so when I was a junior in college was when I started pursuing it. And like I would say pursuing it, but when the interest really peaked and I started like trying to actually make songs, and the first few songs that I made, this honestly was like helped a little bit. It started going kind of crazy at the school. Like everybody was finding out about it and they liked the music. So like the professors eventually found out about it. Yeah. So like I had one, like that song Right Now, I had at this time, like I didn't know how music business worked. There was a person who like ripped that song off SoundCloud because that was the only place I didn't even have a SoundCloud. My friend let me upload it
on theirs,
on his SoundCloud. Shout out to Lefty.
That's great.
And like, you know, Yes Jules picked it up at that time where she was doing a whole bunch of stuff that was prevalent in the SoundCloud space. And
that's big.
Yeah, I mean, it was cool. I didn't know how,
you didn't really know what was happening. It was just happening.
Right. Yeah. I didn't know like what would come of this, you know, but I was just I just wanted people to like my stuff. Like I just wanted to make things that connected with people that also connected with me. But so like it was going crazy at the school. Some person uploaded it on YouTube and ripped it saying like, oh, Drake song Right Now. And it got like 2 million views on YouTube in like 2018. And people were coming up to me like, you know, someone stole your song, right? Like,
wow. Yeah. It was monetizing They
were monetizing. And so I reached out, me being not knowing how this shit works.
Yeah.
I reached out to the person, like I just got all my friends to start flooding the comments saying like, this is this person's song. This is this person's song. So eventually I got in touch with the owner of the YouTube page, who's some chick based in London.
Wow.
She was like, oh yeah, I'll switch your name over, thinking like me thinking like just by changing the name, like it'll start to translate to me. And then she just shut the page down, took the money and ran off with it.
Wow. Yeah. That is terrible.
Yeah.
But that's how you learn.
Yeah. Yeah. Learning curve.
It's almost it's like a compliment in a weird way.
Yeah. Let me know. Like if you put this name on it, the song is quality enough. That,
it's a compliment. Like, yes, there are people that are out there, they're going to try and figure out how to, you know, pull a fast one. She heard something.
Rite of passage.
Rite of passage. She heard something. She not in the way I would condone or you know, promote, but she figured out a way like this might work if I do this.
Shout out to her. Shout out to her business mind. Bro. Yeah, like good business mind. I wonder where she is these days. Like,
I mean, she could be a full-fledged scam artist, bro. You know, but neither here nor there. She might, you know, have some money and
running the bot farms.
Running the bot farms, bro. She got a whole office down the street.
It's crazy.
All right, so now what? How do you? Song's out, you're getting a little bit of attention, right?
Yeah.
Where's your head at, and what was the next step? Like, what was the next thing you started to do? Like, how did you say you started taking it really, really serious? Like, explain that.
Well, the thing is like, I was taking it serious where I was just holding myself, to this day, I hold myself extremely accountable. I'm very hard on myself where I just wanted everything I made moving forward to be better and better and better than the last thing. And I still didn't really have a grasp. Like I wasn't thinking branding or marketing or these things. I was just thinking about good music. You know, that's what I thought at the time, like was the only thing you needed. And to a degree, I still always believe that you just need good music to get somewhere. But so at that time, a producer who had reached out to me, and obviously I'm not going to say names just because, you know, although we aren't on the same page anymore, like I still have a lot of love for that person. But basically they reached out to me. They had produced on some credible pieces of work, like very prevalent pieces of work at that time in the year. And they reached out to me saying like, you know, I'd been trying to get, you know, that connection happened because me thinking like, how do I get beats? I just started looking up my favorite songs at the times and finding out who produced them and trying to email those people and just say, this guy I was working 3 jobs at the time and this guy charged me $600 for a beat. So I bought a beat, but that opened the door to having a dialogue where he saw like I wasn't just trying to get free beats and I was a real genuine guy. And then he saw the songs come out and he hit me up and was like, dude, come to Atlanta. All it'll take is a summer. I'm telling you, just come to Atlanta. And my mom at the time was kind of like, yeah, I'm moving to Texas, so you can't come home. You got to figure it out.
Wow.
Yeah. So my boy and I just.
How old are you at this? Is.
I was like 21.
Wow. Okay.
So, and I'd been out of the house since 19, but it was like I would come back. But, you know, so my boy and I packed our car up and his car, not even my car, and we drove to Atlanta, and we rented through Airbnb the living room of like a townhouse that had 3 other people living upstairs. So I slept on the floor that summer. He slept on the couch, and I was just and the producer basically ghosted me that summer.
You never saw him?
Like I saw him maybe once. We never worked on music. He kind of just never responded. And obviously, like I'm not saying like he might have been working on projects or busy. I have no idea what went on during that time. But you know, what the expectation of what
it's a good lesson. It's a really good lesson though. It's a really good lesson because I don't, you know, it's unfortunate obviously, but there's a couple of things there, right? It's like him saying come to Atlanta in the moment. Yeah, he probably meant that. Like come to Atlanta if we lock
That's
in.
That's why I don't hold grudge or have any malice towards him, because like at the time I was like, you know what? Like what's going on? Yeah, and I'm just kind of confused because I'm out there working as a security guard at Six Flags, like and all I'm trying to do is just work on the music. Like that's it. Like I'm not. And
every opportunity feels like it could be the opportunity when you're in that space too, when you're like just kind of cracking the industry of sorts and like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And you have no idea like how, like that's just the tip of the iceberg of how it all works.
Oh yeah.
So
the tip.
Yeah, literally. So you don't, you know, and this was like my junior year going into senior year of college, the summer of that time. So I was like, I'm going to go back to finish my senior year really because I had nowhere else to stay. My boy who I was crashing with, he was trying to just go find a place. Like he got a job that was kind of further out. It was his car. I didn't have a car. So like I finessed and got like an RA thing where they paid for my housing to be at college the last year. So I was like, I have nowhere to stay. So I went back to college. And when I went back, he tapped back in with me and was just like, you know, sent me some stuff here and there. And I made some stuff when I went back to school, because at this time I didn't own like music equipment. So I couldn't, all this time that's passing, I had no way to work on music, you know? So my boy, Sean, at the time, kind of basically dropped out of school at the time, was pursuing being a producer full time. He had made some connections in LA, and one of them, shout out to James Royo, super good guy, who's a very credible engineer and producer. He's like mixed a lot of Ty Dolla $ign's music. He's done Meek Mill, a whole bunch of people, YG. And at the time he was letting Sean crash at his house, and Sean played him some of my music, and he was like, yo, tell him to come out here. So I used the money that I got from the RA stuff
and took a trip out there.
And took out the trip during the middle of the semester. So like I was not thinking about school at all.
Yeah.
And like I was out there and I met a few people and they were like, dude, you should just move out here. So I went home. I went back to school, not home. I kind of wrapped up things over there, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to use this money, get a car. I'm going to go and just drive to LA and figure it out. And at the time, my boy Sean was going to move out there. So we were like coordinating like to move out there together at the same time. Unfortunately, that didn't go like the way I had planned. So like there were a lot of crashing on couches situations, sleeping in my car, certain situations, or like, I wouldn't say sleeping in my car, but basically I would like stay up as long as I need to, just kicking it in my car or driving around or whatever, until one of my friends was awake and was like awake enough to let me come hang out. And then I just pass out on their couch during the day and take a nap. But really,
you're driving around like the middle of the night type deal?
Yeah, I'm just awake. Like I'm just up. Whether I'm just like parked outside in a public spot that's kind of, that I know is like, you know, an okay area to be parked at.
Yeah.
You know, so it was just like, it was a lot of tough situation. There were like people there who definitely held me down, let me crash on their couch. Like the One Mind guys, who are these producer collective, they would let me crash on their couch for like 2-3 weeks. Mac helped me out a bunch, and he hates when I bring it up. But, you know, this whole time I was just trying to figure it out, you know?
What are you thinking in this time? Like, where's your head at?
The only thing I'm thinking about is like, I just want to like get to a point where I'm making really good music. Like that's what I wasn't thinking about. Like, I hate being broke. I hate and I'm the same way now. I'm so obsessed by the goal that I'm focused on going after that I'm not like all these other stipulants. Like I emotionally am feeling these ways. Like, you know, it's hard to like, that I got to go take a shower at LA Fitness in order to like, take a shower but like, and that's tough and it's a challenge. And the anxieties of like, how am I going to pay for this? How am I going to pay for that? Where am I going to get the money? Like, you know, so I went through that stuff, but at the end of the day, all I'm thinking about is like, I just hope like I figure this out and like make great music. And I haven't even at the time like dug into the creative process.
Yeah.
You know?
What do you mean by that? Like what?
I didn't like,
the
you know,
studio
like,
session.
Yeah, dude, I didn't make none of the music I've ever made was made in like a studio. It's always been like my living room or something.
We talked about that when we linked up not too long ago, and we were having a conversation about the music creation process. And we have very different ways of going about making music. Not far. Like I have tapped into the way you do it, right? But I've always been in a studio setting. I've always had producers around me. I've always had like a lot of people in a room.
Yeah, I've never had that experience.
Yeah, it was just the way that I came up. It wasn't the first way I started writing, but it was certainly the first time that I really started recording music, that there were a lot of people in the mix. It started to get to me at times because, you know, when I started to really figure myself out, I didn't always want the distractions.
You need the isolation. Yeah,
there were certain people who I was always good with, and they understood the moment. Like, if this is my session, they can work
for
with.
Sure.
And that's why they're who they are as producers, who they are as songwriters, who they are as engineers. Like, that's why.
Yeah.
But when you have the homies around and the people and and you got people like rapping on the verse in the background, and like that becomes.
Let me get on this, bro.
Yeah, and like, listen, there's a lot of fun. There's a lot of good shit that comes out of that. Don't get me wrong.
But if you've got a vision,
correct. Like, there's certain moments I just did not want that, and the older and older I got, the less and less I wanted that. I really was like tunnel visioned as to how I wanted to approach my craft.
Yeah,
you know. But sometimes, you know, those nights were warranted and they were a vibe. It started to outweigh me wanting to do it the way I wanted to do it. Started to outweigh around the boys, and you know what I mean.
Yeah, I never got that at like community experience in making music.
Are you against it? Are you, or just still to this day haven't really found that energy?
Yeah, I think I'm particular on energy because, like, you know, I think it's like taste too, you know. If
Definitely.
I have a different level of taste than what you have, it doesn't mean I don't respect your taste, but it's also like a challenge to.
Are you tough in a studio? Are you like, it's like very, I like it the way I like it?
No, not that. Sometimes I can be, I think a lot of times it's like, if I don't know how to, like, you know, because like it's a challenge if you're like making music and you don't know what to do in this section, or you don't, you know, it can be, because part of the thing is like when you are in a studio with people, there is like they want to see something happen, you know, like, and there is like what can happen, and sometimes it doesn't happen, you know. Sometimes there's a lot of trial and error, and I think every artist I think goes through it, and whether they show that or not, there's a lot of failed attempts. There's
many more failed attempts than there are
for sure
wins, quote unquote.
And especially, you know, if I'm writing about vulnerable things, and I often just feel like what I want out of this and what other people want out of this is like different. In the scenarios that I had been in, it's not that I'm against it. I think I haven't found that tribe yet. That
it's good you recognize it. It is. And I don't know if you don't necessarily ever have to have it. Like, realistically, like, to just be, right? If you're in a good place right now, you're making the music you're making, and mind you, you're making good music. Like, even your new song, Rotation, right? That's a good song.
Thanks,
right?
man.
It's a good song. So like, you obviously have a good thing going. You don't need to force the idea of, you know, I got to be in a studio session. And I don't think you do. I'm not saying you do or you don't, right? I'm saying I would recommend staying in your bag until
it feels right.
Yeah, until like it kind of just happens, or you feel an energy, or maybe you're in somebody else's session and something about whatever this is dope, and then maybe you know, come to my session. I'd be interested to see how it works. Like, whatever. Your artistry is so much, like, we're talking music heavy, but like artistry is so much more than just the music. Artistry is like if you're presenting your art, it goes deep. Like, it goes deep into who you are as a person. It goes deep into what you're portraying. It goes deep into these conversations. It goes deep into what a cover looks like. It goes deep into what the title is. It goes deep to how you spell the song. It goes deep into like almost every why.
Yeah.
Like, it's your brain. So I would always advise that you don't force other people's opinions, and like, don't force it.
Yeah, I'm not big on forcing things externally. I definitely have fallen victim to like forcing things. Like, if I want to make a song that does this, I may be forcing that attempt instead of letting it come naturally.
For sure.
Which is also part of it, is that I'm not always making music for like understanding that I'm going to get something out of this. I really treat it like a craft. Like I really, even if I'll always feel shitty about it, but even if I don't, like a series of constant attempts that aren't really like yielding the results that I want. And don't get me wrong. Like I'm extremely critical of myself. So there are a lot of ideas where my friends are like, dude, you should like, this is good. What do you mean?
They're all a lot of them are going to do that.
Yeah. And even people who aren't like people who are industry people that are like, this is a good idea. This is good. But like, it's an energy thing for me, like feeling. There's a feeling that I'm going for.
I totally get that. Can I ask you, right? So like the songs that you've put out, the things that you've done that you've been proud of, right? What is that feeling to you? And what's the difference between that and the feedback that you get? What is that thing that makes you feel like, yo, this?
Yeah. I think I'm still figuring that out because I feel like every time I put something out, I'm still kind of questioning it because I think I'm so, sometimes.
What about when you make it?
When I make it, there's been a few instances where I'm like, nah, I know this is something.
Yeah.
There's other times where, which I think in music, it happens all kind of ways. Like sometimes it's like, I thought it was cool. And then, you know, maybe conversations will be like, okay, maybe this is actually something. Maybe I should really like lean into it. And then there's ones where I'm like, absolutely not, you know, but, every song that I thought was like one of these ones, and truth be told is every time I've put out a song, my career has moved forward. I haven't dropped an insane amount of music in my catalog. Like there isn't like a lot.
You haven't. I like the mystery though. For you, not everybody like.
That's about to change this year though. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, you should because you. Listen, if you're gonna go for it, like really go for it. Like I'm not saying you haven't. You've committed, right? But I'm talking. Now I'm gonna put my foot on the gas.
Yeah.
And you know, these motherfuckers are going to see me and they're going to hear me. Yeah. They're going to see me over and over and over again. Like when you get into that space, that was the one thing that I know I did. I wasn't to me.
Well, you knew yourself early. A lot of like,
yes and no. Yes and no. My wife would tell you no, because I lived two lives. I was home with my wife in Westwood, and then I was down in the hood. And so I was living two very different lives. And made it work. I loved it though. Like it was an excitement about it for me, you know, in so many ways. But I will say my confidence was always there. Like no matter where I am, no matter what I do, my confidence was there. And a lot of that came over time, especially early in my music career. But you know, where I'm talking about putting your foot on the gas, like I don't think I made great music. I can say that now. I think I made good music. I think it was good. I think it was entertaining. For me, it was music videos, shows, you know, interviews, podcasts. I reeked of confidence and passion. Yeah. And like that's how I got people interested. And so I like where you're at because your music to me right now and what you've put out, there is a mystery to it. Yeah. Right. And I like that for you. I'm excited to see.
Yeah, there's a lot, even in what we've spoken about just now, like there's a lot people don't know.
Yeah.
And of course it's like, you know, wanting to unveil it to people in the right way.
Yeah.
But like, even I think like a big thing that my mom said this to me the other day, she's like, I guess like my grandpa said like, how's Guy doing? And she's like, oh, you know, Guy, just doing something that's completely fucking scary until he achieves that thing and then he feels amazing. Cause like I'm big on like, I just take the risk. Like I take the risk. I dropped everything, moved to LA, took the risk. I dropped everything.
Yeah,
moved to
you
Atlanta.
have many times.
The show in November, like that was a risk. I put up money. There was a bar quota I had to meet. If I didn't meet that, a lot of money was coming out of my account and I sold it out and I took the risk. And this show that I'm doing June 6th, like it's, to do something twice at the same location is a risk.
It's a risk,
you know?
Yeah.
And I'm always gonna take the risk. I will, of course, have those moments of doubts, have those concerns, but I'm also like, man, like if I'm not gonna do it, who is? You know, there's nobody from our community doing that right now. So like I am really trying to. I think a big thing of it is just like starting, like understanding. When I say that you've known yourself. From an artistic standpoint, you're always going to change because as a person,
always you're
evolving. So you're always going to get reacquainted with yourself. But you knew when you started recording, when you were making music, like you knew like how you wanted to be portrayed at that moment.
Yeah, just I to a degree.
Yeah,
it took me a second though.
It took you, and it's going to take you a second when you decide to like pivot and realize what your next tastes are and stuff like that.
It took me a second to do this fucking podcast, bro.
You know, and it's
and I knew it. And I knew it first.
Look at it. It looks great. You know,
but I feel you, and I think my seeing, you know, you're saying a couple of things right now that I think are very important to hear for yourself. Like you're right. It's like anytime you've committed to something, there has been something good that has come out of it. Whether it was the be all end all or not, there's been a step in a direction that is positive for you. Whether, you know, it progressed you musically, it progressed you in your life, it progressed you to you know, new people in your life that have helped benefit you, that, you know, it's progressed you in regards to the feedback you're getting musically. If it's progressed you from running a show and watching the success, right? My question to you would be like, when you go and you really put your foot, because I know,
yeah, you know what I'm holding.
I already know, bro. Like I want to see that, because I know time keeps going, right? And no matter what, and I think you're one of those guys.
No pun intended.
No pun intended. How many times can that happen in life? I'm sure
so
you get
many,
that all of the time.
Westwood was brutal,
oh,
bro.
Boy. Yeah, high school, that's rough. That's rough. No, I just think you're one of those guys that like you by default are different. You're unique. And that is a plus and it's a bonus, right? And
I appreciate it.
You are. It's just what it is. Like a lot of people do what they, the idea of being an artist, bro, like, a lot of people want to do it because there's when they don't know what to do, it's like an outlet.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. And some people have it, some people don't, some people learn it's not for them, but whatever. It doesn't matter. The point is that, you know, I for personally, I'm saying this wildly personal and everybody has their taste, but like, I love when people believe in themselves. Like I'm talking like fully fucking go for it, regardless of music. I'm talking committed to something. I'm like, yo, that is dope. And I'm watching them and I'm seeing it go. Right. That's what I'm so excited for you for, because you have all this time. You've done it. You've experienced a lot of shit. You've gotten to this point because you've committed in many different areas. But I'm talking like,
yeah, that's what's about to happen.
I know.
That's what's about to happen.
And that's the stuff that I'm fucking jacked up for you about, bro, because I remember that fucking feeling.
Yeah.
I remember a lot of people fucking, you know, what the fuck is he doing? Like, but like boots on the ground.
Yeah. And everybody's going to say that
style.
to that shit. That's the thing, like, that's so interesting about my scenario is just like, I've been world building in this time.
People don't even know what you have.
Yeah.
Which is great because it can help unveil a lot of things in a different way, but you're smart. You're a smart guy.
It just feel you're going to do this all day.
Oh, no, it's over for you, bro.
I just, like, again, man, it's just feeling, man. You know, and the thing is, like, situations come up that offer opportunity where I'm kind of like, I could do it this way. I have a plan, but I also am like not overly or rigidly attached to my plan. I leave room for God to come in and the universe to come in and dictate how this is going to go. Like, I become pretty spiritual in the last year and a half, and a lot of things that I really do think about is just like, you know, control the controllables, let go of the rest.
So big on that, bro.
Yeah. And so right now I have a plan, and if God comes in and says, we're going to shift it a little bit, I'm just trusting that it's for the better. But man, I do got some shit coming, man. Yeah, for sure.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that, bro, because we've had a couple conversations and I can see how excited you are for it.
Yeah.
I know you've been working. How long? So you, what are you working on? Is it a project? Is it?
I'm not going to.
You know, okay, leave it there.
Yeah, I'm not going to get too in depth, but I have a collection of songs that I've spent, you know, time crafting, and I'm always creating. Like I'm already thinking about like what's coming next. You know, obviously I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, because shout out to my boy Ace Pro. He gave me some of the most surreal advice that sticks with me every day, where, you know, in this thing of making music and putting music out, I'm so obsessed with like, when I do something right, okay, but I need to do it again, and I need to do it again. And can I do it again? Can I do it again? Can I do it better? And, as I'm making these songs and I'm like getting them mixed or getting the final tweaks on them and things like that, and I'm going to roll this out and do that, I'm already like, well, what about when I get to that end point? I need to be ready for what comes after that. And he's like, you need to give yourself time to digest how it translates into the world.
I am very happy he said that to you.
Yeah, no, he's got great advice, and he's just, you know, artists that he works with, which I'm not going to name drop, but, you know, he tells me, like, when they make something, they give time to put it into the world, see how the world responds to it, take notes of it, you know, and move accordingly. And I felt like, man, so I'm actively making new stuff and actively attempting to find something, but I am also trying to balance, like, seeing how people respond to things, seeing how the universe responds to things.
You always should. Be present though.
Yeah, that's what I'm definitely working on my presence.
Be present.
But yeah, right now I've just got, like, you know, in layman's terms, I've just got a series of new music coming. And just building this world. A real big thing that I'm focused on is just really trying to take New Jersey to the forefront of music. I think, and art in general. I know we have a lot of great talent that has come from New Jersey, is coming from New Jersey, but I just feel very adamantly that I don't feel like we're in the conversation
as like a state versus other.
Yeah, I think we get overshadowed by New York.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean,
you know, just like out of convenience, because, you know, I hear like artists who come up out of like Michigan or Louisville, and they talk about that as well. Like, I think because we're in such close proximity to New York, that people think like we're just grouped together.
Yeah,
but it's really not. You know.
Yeah. You know, like coming up, dude, like it's fun. Jersey's funny. Jersey's funny. And like, mind you, I'm very close with a lot of, not very close, but you know, I've been around and am close with a lot of Jersey artists, like a lot of them that are OGs that come up, right? Like I've watched certain ones that have come out that are wildly popular in their own right, do well for themselves, super successful, you know. I think what's interesting about New Jersey is it's like kind of everybody's out for themselves. You know, it's not like there's not unity. I won't say there's not unity. I see a lot of people that do work together.
Man.
Well, what were we going to say?
I just opened up for Mano recently, and there was they were doing content there, and the question they kept asking people, does Jersey support Jersey? That's
been a question, bro, for the last 15 years, 20 years. I'm telling you. It's
every person except for me said, no, Jersey does not support Jersey.
It's not the truth.
And I'm telling them, like,
yeah, it's not the truth.
I just sold a show out in my hometown.
They do. I think, were they talking artist to artist though? Or are they talking like
artist to artist?
So they do. It's like,
and people, there was some
pockets,
regular people.
Though. It's really interesting, bro. It's like, but it's pockets, right? It's like, it's pockets. I think Fetty did a really, really good job of representing New Jersey at the time that he came out. I really do.
Yeah, but he also like, he hit the ground. Like I remember hearing stories of like him pulling up to DJs being like Trap Queen had been made.
But let me tell you something. We did a show with Fetty when he had like, Trap Queen was out. It was the biggest song in New Jersey for sure. For sure. I mean, you heard it every second. And he probably had like 15 to 19 to 20,000 followers, right? I got asked to do a show. At the time, I was very, like, I always took on any shows. I've done Maxwell Cream. I've done like gutter shows, you know what I mean? Yeah. But I had a bunch of people in my crew that I thought the show would be better for, right? And I knew I was probably going to perform a song. And so I wound up passing
on sound, or?
I didn't, like, Trap Queen was so new and unique. It was just, to me at the time, it was outside of my, like, if I look back, I don't say I made a mistake because I wound up performing a song anyway, but it was different. It was so different. It was so unique at the time, bro. You're talking 2015, you know what I mean? So
yeah, I wasn't even like making music at that time.
It was very new. And mind you, I had been doing music for a minute. So Fetty came out of left field to me.
Yeah.
Fetty came out. There's a lot of artists who put in work, who were popping, bro. In Jersey, he caught a lick because that record was just so dope. And what they did, I know their whole, I learned a lot about how they promoted their stuff, bro. Like they put a little bit of, they put a bag behind it. They were, you know, they had people up and down the streets of Patterson playing the song on repeat, probably threw them a couple bucks, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They had a whole system that really blew that fucking song up, and it became undeniable because the song was undeniable. Like when push comes to shove.
Phenomenal song.
Classic, bro. It's forever a classic.
I was listening to that in the gym the other day. Like that whole...
It comes on my playlist all the time.
Yeah.
It's that just when it comes...
I love Fetty, man. Shout out to Fetty, man.
Bro, he did something great at a time. Like that time of music, especially, like even in the world, was really, really good. And he, you know...
Right.
It was just good.
I think, though, obviously we're biased and we're from Jersey. So,
Sure.
of course, we know Fetty Wap is from Jersey. But I think if you were to go ask some person in L.A. who loves Trap Queen, where's Fetty from? They don't know.
I actually would agree that they might not.
But if you go ask them, where's Drake from?
Toronto. But that's because, so let me ask you this now. Do you think that's because the artist doesn't emphasize it? Because Drake is Toronto. I just don't think like artists, I think Fetty's intention at that time wasn't like, I'm trying to get away from Jersey, but his intention wasn't, I'm trying to take this state and push it here. Yeah.
He was like, I want to make incredible music and I want to put on for my city.
Yeah.
Like most artists, but like, I think something that Drake has done, Kanye has done, Jay has done, Pop Smoke, like there's so many artists, Jack, like so many artists that want to be like, I'm not just from this place. Mm-hmm. But I really want people to know about this place.
Yeah.
And I want people to understand how special this place is.
The place. Yeah, you know, I feel you on that. If I were to give Fetty his flowers in regards to anything like stamping, I will say Patterson
absolutely
was put on the map. Like he definitely emphasized Patterson.
Right. The point that I'm making isn't that like I don't think he was not trying to put on for his city. I think he was absolutely trying to put on for his city, put on for his state, make great music, take care of his people, take care of his family. But I just think like what he was thinking at the time wasn't like he's not going to avoid the question of where he's from.
I feel you. I don't. Yeah, there is something. There's something that and again, you're right, because it's not them. They're not doing anything wrong.
No, it's not circumstantial to just New Jersey artists. There's like a ton of poppin' artists. Like, tell me where Taylor Swift's from. You know, like
pop artists are different though.
It doesn't matter the genre. I think like
I feel you.
Artists like Wiz Khalifa, who make a black and yellow song.
Yeah.
Gearing towards Pittsburgh. Mm-hmm. You know, Drake with Toronto.
I know the direction. I understand what you're saying.
Like I really want to be a hometown hero.
Yeah.
Like, you know, everybody knows like Muhammad Ali
and be known for it. Like
I don't want to be like, of course, pigeon-held by it, but I just want to take it as far as I can go, but also like people know that I'm bringing it back home too.
Yeah. No, I feel that. I really do. I think it's dope to do that and represent. Like when push comes to shove, it's like it's your craft, it's your artistry, it's your goals, it's your vision, it's what you want, right? And if part of what it is you're looking to accomplish is that, fucking do it. Because I don't think that there's many that, like you said, like we're talking about, that like go the lengths to make sure. You know, that, you know, there's love that's shown. There is. That's what I was saying. Like, I don't totally agree that no, Jersey doesn't support. No, it's not true.
Yeah, I agree.
I know a million artists, bro, that supported the fuck out of me. I know a million artists that I've supported.
I think it's expectation, man. Like, I think people don't put in that much work and they expect to just get love from it, where it's like, you don't, I've never asked anybody for anything, man. Like, even the shows, like if I take an L on the show, I'm taking the L. Like, I'm not going to blame people for that. I'm going to blame myself. Like, what could I have done to either get this out further, and even when I've approached people that I know to come to shows, they know it's love. They know I'm not like,
that's what's going to do it,
expecting them to get a ticket. And I'm trying to do the right things, where it's like, I'm trying to maintain integrity with the creative decisions that I make. And when I do the show, I'm not like, right now, I've already started rehearsing for it. Like, I'm not like, I treat it, you know, as if I was going to do the garden. And there's things that I got to learn, you know, like, I'm not perfect,
of course.
But that's why even with, when I sold it out in November, I put on local acts to open up for me, and I paid them.
That's dope.
And I'm doing the same thing again.
That's very dope
for this one, because like, even though I sold the tickets, or if I'm the one who sells all the tickets, to me, it's like, am I really about what I say I'm about? Which is like, I'm trying to put you in a position to not only like perform in front of 200 people or 250 people, but to also, you made some money, man. Like,
that I love that. I love that you did that. I think it's very important to do that. I think it's very important to put, you know, shine on some that don't even have the opportunity or chance, or even more than that, don't get paid to do shows.
Right. That's like
a big, you might be the first person that paid them to do a show.
That's like a big thing. That's another thing of like why, like if I get the love, I'm giving the love back too. Like,
here's where, get it.
Oh man.
Yeah. Just because what I don't want to see happen is you put too much on your shoulders, right? And I think that this is kind of why, you know, to put a bow on the Jersey thing, I think a lot of artists eventually figure out that, like, I got to look out for myself, and I'm good at what I do, and I got my people, and I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that I make a living doing what it is that I love. It's a big weight to carry, right? And I think right now you're in a really good space because you do it wildly organic. I would stay there. Do the right thing when it's your show. You know you're doing the right thing on behalf of your show.
Yeah, I'm not going to burn myself. I appreciate you saying that, but I'm not going to, you know, like, I do it when it makes sense. And a lot of these things are also like when I've allocated more resources, what I plan on doing. I'm very much aware of the terrain that I'm in, which is like, I'm not going to go to extreme lengths that's out of my capability and make false promises for things that I'm not in a position to do. But in the scope, in the big picture of this, when I get here, I'm going to do this.
You know how you're going to, that's a good mentality.
Yeah. Cause I very much know that, like, none of the guys in Jersey were with me when I was sleeping in the car alone in LA, you know?
Correct.
But I don't view it as like you guys weren't with me. I view it as in like, this is a solo journey for me.
Mm-hmm.
And what's that phrase? I can't remember it exactly, but essentially it's like, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to like really enjoy the time, go together.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you want to enjoy the journey, go together. And that's really like, I pace it. Like, I could have been trying to do this show 2 years ago, you know, like, but it wasn't the right time.
You knew the timing.
I just go off feeling, man. Like, I just, you know, I just go off feeling like, man, I'm doing this and I'm getting this response in the city, and people are like hitting me up, and and my followers are going up, and this and that. And I have $0 invested into my career right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, of course I put my own money into my career, but in terms of like a backing, I have no backing.
Yeah.
I'm not putting $5,000 into a release. I'm putting like a couple $100 of my own money.
You want to build it organically, community, like your community.
And it's also like, I've gotten this far with nothing, you know, like, so once I'm in a position where there is finances really kicking in, where is it going to be, you know? So like, I think part of the understanding is I've got to get to the mountaintop in
order to fulfill what it is we're talking about.
Right. Cause I think the difference is like, I know I can't carry the mountain. I can't carry a mountain with me as I climb a mountain, but I think a lot of people that end up messing up is they get to the top of the mountain and they forget to come back down and tell here's the path. This is the way to go up the mountain.
For sure.
And that's how I view it.
For sure. It's also figuring out like how to manage that time, right? Because if you get to the mountain, more shit, more stuff, more things you're gonna have to deal with, right? And so then how do I balance the time between the shit that I'm dealing with personally, and then also making sure that I'm giving back in some capacity? And how do I do that where it's fulfilling enough for me personally because it's a goal, and fulfilling enough for the people that I'm giving it to? But you're also at that time, now you're in a position to do it because you have the resources, the finances, the team.
People's egos get in the way. Like, why should I invest money into you without an ROI? Like
that shit, bro.
You know,
I know?
I want to be the guy that I was waiting for, you know, who believed in it and put the money in with no expectation of like, yo, I believe in this, you know. Why can't I be that for who I wanted to be for myself?
Do it from your heart.
Yeah.
Do it from your heart. Do it from your soul. Do it because it's what you want to do. Get to the mountaintop and do exactly what it is you're saying you're going to do. That, period. Get to the mountaintop though, right? And getting to the mountaintop might be you locking the fuck in right now. And when it's time, when you have these moments to help people, do it. Like, do it. Just don't overdo it and make it a detriment to your own path, right? Because I think that's also very, very, very important. You're a good person. I know you're a good person. I feel that you're a good person.
I appreciate it, man. Vice versa.
I just do. I feel it, bro. And so I'm giving you something like, I'm telling you this because dead ass, bro, I had a great team around me. Awesome people between Airplay Entertainment and the BXX Beep crew. Great people that helped me in various different ways. Everybody played a position, right? And wanted to see me win in so many different ways, right? I'm so grateful. I also know that there's a lot of pressure and it was a lot that I put on my shoulders. And I made one conscious decision to go a route and it didn't fucking work out. And when it didn't work out, it was very difficult to make it make sense, right? And it was the first time I veered, really veered, like actually veered from the path that we were going on. And so stay on course, know your course, like be locked in on your fucking course. Right?
That's the biggest blessing I've had in my entire life is just tunnel vision.
Tunnel vision, bro. Tunnel vision. You know you're confident where the outcome is going to be. Yeah. You're confident. It might be a little different than exactly how you have it mapped out. It's going to
be different than how I mapped out. It's way different than how I thought. You just got to worry
about tomorrow, bro.
Yeah, man. I mean, like how I thought it was going to work when I first started is not. But I also look back and realize, like, I don't know what I would have been capable of doing or would it have stunted me, you know? Like,
yeah.
So I think, like, right now, and I also don't put people in a position, like, I'm not handing anything to anybody. Like, I have friends that I put in positions by just giving them a contact. I don't say, like, I'm going to do this contact and network for you. I'm giving you the opportunity to meet this person. And what you do with it from there is because what I do is you lose all the benefits of the journey and the failure and what you learn. And, you know, like I don't ever look back on that time in like Los Angeles or Atlanta or have malice towards these guys who are, you know, because I'm like, man, I'm so grateful that I'm resilient, you know?
You don't ever look at every experience is positive if you really look at it the right way.
Yeah.
No matter how you slice it. Every decision you make has a silver lining.
For sure.
It could be the worst thing that happens, the worst outcome ever, bro. Like it could be terrible. You could make a terrible decision, but if you look at it the right way, you can either get pissed off about it, you know, hold a grudge, be mad at the world. Like, yo, realistically, the only person you should be mad at is yourself if you feel that way.
Yeah, you could ask my guys, like, I don't ever point the finger. Obviously, like when we're bullshitting about
stuff.
Like
we all have our shit.
But a lot of the time is like me just pointing the finger back at myself. Like I really just I'm really a self-blamer. But at the same time, you know, I'm a glass half full kind of guy.
Beautiful, bro. Stay there. Fucking stay there, bro. Like really stay there and don't veer. You know, like if you're going to veer, it's got to be because it's a real feeling you're feeling.
Yeah.
And you go with a real gut feel it, like a real intuition, like a legit one, and then have the right conversations with the people that are around you and keep it a fucking buck.
Yeah. I'm very blessed that like everybody in my corner is extremely transparent to a fault, man. Mm-hmm. Like sometimes that shit is a challenge. But
it's if they're those people are saying it for the right reasons.
For sure. I don't have no
selfishness, you know, and you need that. You need to be challenged, dude. If you had nobody telling you the harsh reality of whatever it is, you know, or their perspective, let's say, even better.
Yeah.
You know,
a lot of people veer from that. Like a lot of people, like especially people that we talk about that want to be artists and stuff like that, they don't like being faced with that uncomfortability of when you're in a position where you feel challenged in that capacity. And like as far as even just making music, you know, like
Yep. I totally get it.
So I'm there, man. I'm just a guy who's like, man, I'm to do whatever I need to do to get where I want to be, for better, for worse. Like
I believe in you. I think that you have, your music is really, really good. Like that is a plus.
Thanks, man.
You know, because that's, you know, I just, why I tell you why I'm so passionate, what I'm saying, put your like, I can't wait for you to, man. I know. I'm not trying to be, cause I'm excited for you. You know what I mean? I'm excited for you. Yeah. Cause I know that, right? And then when you press it, it's got to stay down.
Yeah.
At that point, it's got to stay down, right? The reason I'm excited is because I watch a lot of people who don't have your talent and they just do this And because of the internet and social media and all these various different things, quote unquote, get somewhere, get there, right? Get to a point that, like, that's why a lot of artists will be butthurt. They're like, man, you know, they get pissed off, like they're mad at the fact that I'm doper, like he's whack, but look how, but like why? Like, yo, stop.
No, I get the why, man. I get the why, but that's why I'm just like, in my mind, I'm like, man, if I take the time to refine this and then put my foot on the gas.
Yeah, get yourself into a pocket of it's go time. Yeah. That's it. And once you do it, don't stop and don't question it and don't. Now you can go lane to lane. You can keep it moving, right? And pick your spots and learn from each thing. But like, dog, one thing that I won off of, and I've watched people win off it, is like relentlessly in your face. Like relentlessly, whether you like me, you don't, no matter what, you're talking about me. You see me.
Yeah.
And that thing, when you get further and all those people, and you've been there, like you've had these moments anyway, but like all those people that are pointing the finger and be like, what the fuck is he doing? And what the hell is that? And da. Yo, dog, when you don't even just keep it moving and you look back, you're like, all of them come around. Fans. All of them. Whether they say it or not, they're watching.
Yeah.
How? Why? Why is he so confident? Why am I not?
That's the question.
And then you talk about inspiring them. And then it's like, go.
Yeah. That's why I think, like, to cap it off, because I well, for one, if you want to know what I got coming, you got to come June 6th, man.
Yeah.
I
June
better
6th,
see you
big
there.
show. I'm doing media, bro.
Yeah,
I'm coming in. I'm going to be in the crowd.
I love that.
Yeah.
Like, we got heavy stage down.
I'm a dangerous person to be in the crowd, bro.
Oh, man. No, I'm here for it. But, yeah, man, I just want to be a good person, man. I want to get where I want to be and still be a good person. And I think, like, I've been blessed enough that a lot of people fuck with me because of who I am as well as what I do.
Mm-hmm. That's going to take you places no matter what happens in life.
Vice versa, man. You're a great guy, man.
Well, the feeling is very mutual. It really is. It is. I've learned that is a really, really good quality. When you have it, it hurts when you have it and you don't have enough experience to understand the pain that comes from having it and being let down. Yeah. It hurts. And then you realize it hurts, bro. It hurts, bro. I've cried. I have cried. Like cried. I've sobbed on my wife's shoulder. Sobbed, bro.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough being let down, man.
Let down for reasons that didn't make sense to me. But then I start realizing that, like, not everybody's like that.
It's also a bigger planet place.
It is, and
maybe you had to go through that to be who you really want to be.
What I'm saying is, like, everything you go through matters, bro. I've still gone through shit over the last couple of years. Things. Some of it is self-induced. Some of it is like, things that didn't work out, positions that I put myself in, and it high hopes, high expectations. Like,
you're human, man.
Everybody's a human. Everybody's a human. Everybody has an opportunity to learn from their shit. Everybody has an opportunity to get out of their shit. Everybody has an opportunity to take advantage of their opportunities. Everybody has everything as much as they possibly can have. Some people are given more of an opportunity from an early age. Some are given less. Some people that had more got nothing, and some people that had less got it all. And the bottom line is, realistically, that's what this is all about. It's like, what matters the fucking most, bro?
Happiness,
bro. Are you fulfilled?
Yeah.
Like, are you fulfilled?
Happiness and how you got there.
And what is the Michelle, who was on the episode before you, bro, she said to me, and I've talked about this with a few people, like, what's the definition of success? Like, yeah, we could look at it monetary. We could look at it as goods, and, we could. To me, especially when I'm a kid, bro, like, that changed everything. It's like, but what's success? It's really how do you feel when you wake up in the morning?
Yeah. I think like terms like success, happiness, like that's what's so awesome about, honestly, I'm just thinking about this now, but destination happiness, like becoming successful, it's not as much about like the word itself. I think it's about the journey as you level up. And I think happiness as well, like happiness is a fleeting emotion.
Yes.
But you find the happiness in the journey.
I've had a lot of people be like, well, happiness isn't like, there isn't a destination of happiness. I have people send me quotes that are like, anti
Yeah.
the idea of, well, but people, you didn't ask me what this is. Like the whole idea of this is that every decision you make, the destination should be happiness.
Yeah.
The quote, the slogan for this is embrace your journey.
Yeah.
Right? The idea is not like, oh, I'm at one point in my life going to be happy. That's not the point of this. The point of this is every decision I make, everything you do, you know damn well when you make a decision, good or bad, what you're feeling in that moment.
Yeah. And what the point of the decision is.
Correct.
I'm making this decision for better, for worse, because I'm trying to get here.
Correct. And whether it's the right decision or the wrong decision, you felt good about it when you made it. It was true when you made it.
For sure.
Doesn't mean the outcome is going to be everything you thought. But if you base it on that, it's going to keep pushing you.
Yeah, man. That's why it's like it happens for people in different areas. Even people who, achieve success early on and in the latter half of their life are extremely unhappy.
Yeah, bro.
Versus those that it took a while to get to where they wanted to be. Correct. And the rest of their lives, extreme happiness.
Correct. I look at you and I say to myself, like, really, like, you're extremely talented. You have you've come into your own. Like, obviously, it's very, from the time I first heard you, 2017. You know what I mean? Like when I first, I was still cooking at the time. You know what I mean? You just popped up.
Yeah.
You're like new to me at the time. You know what I mean? But you've come a long way. You have a style. You're unique. You're who you are. And most importantly, I've been around you a couple times now, a few times. You're a good person. Your heart is in the right place, right? It is. And so I just that's when I'm so excited for you to do this, because I want you to give that to people. The more people you're around, the more you do, the more, I wouldn't say that to everybody. You know, I think you're good for people. I've watched the way that you navigate conversations, how you do offer up resources and things, and you hit me up like, yo, come to my show, and like, I'd love to, I'll hook you up, I'll introduce you to this person out. Like, yo, bro, you know how many people I've fucking done shit for that never did that for me? Yeah. Like, dog, that's how I am. Yeah. So I appreciate it.
Of course, man. Circle back to that real quick to, like I said, in college, I'm transparent, man. So like, huge, I keep it 100 where I'm like, yo, I'll do this and do that. But there's going to be a time where I'm not in that headspace and I'm locked in, and it is what it is. But just know, like, my heart is always in the right place. But me letting you know, that's half of the battle that I'm sure, like you've talked about people letting you down, is because they keep you in the dark about stuff.
Correct. And you learn, and worse. And you learn the hard way, which sucks, because I didn't ask for that. I didn't deserve that.
Nah, man, but it made you a better father.
It made me a better everything.
Yeah, it's like I was about to list a series of things, but you beat me to it.
It made me a better everything. And bro, I still battle, bro. I battle mentally. I'm still learning so much about how I have to. I got to keep busy. Me alone in my brain, I don't like it. You're
human, man. You're gonna have to at some point face that.
I faced it many times. I've learned it because I faced it. Yeah. And so now it constantly is shaping, like, all right, and then I can now have a transparent conversation with whoever it is that matters to me in my life and say, hey, this is the way it has to be because of my sanity, for my happiness, my peace.
You got a hustler ambition too, man. You have a driving spirit, and maybe when you're like 65, that'll change. But maybe. Like, right now, just like as you're doing, you're just sinking your teeth into it.
So are you.
That's the theme of sink your teeth into it.
Sink your teeth into it. So listen, let's talk show. Where can people find you?
Absolutely.
Yeah, let's let everybody into the next couple months and who you are more.
First and foremost, thank you for having me. My name is Guy. You can follow me everywhere at I'm Guy from NJ. June 6th, I'll be having one more show, Debonair Music Hall, Teaneck, New Jersey. We sold out the last one, over 250 tickets sold. We're looking to do it 2 times for everyone who couldn't get in last time. That's the point of why we're doing it one more time. So catch it while you can. You'll see this guy out there for sure. So.
Damn right. I'll be in there. I might even bring the flip shades back, bro.
Listen, man, we'll put you wherever you need to be, bro.
Oh, that's dangerous.
We're here for it, man. Destination happiness.
I appreciate you, bro. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me, man.
Yeah, I'm excited for you, man. Keep fucking going. We need more people like you. Doing shit dope.
Like us.
I'm gonna keep doing what I do because I know it. We're building a relationship. I just want to inspire you to and motivate you to,
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, bro.
I appreciate all the words, man.
Yeah, I mean it from the bottom of my heart, bro.
Nah, I appreciate it, man.
Till next time. Till after the show.
Yeah, the post game podcast.
The post game podcast. That was good.
Yeah. Shit.
We didn't even crack this thing.
I know. I was gonna suggest it at some point, but I was like, fuck it.
We'll hit him with one of these. It's legit beer, but it's not a
non-alcoholic. Wow, that's actually really good.
Yeah.